I just did something I did not think you could do in any form of gig work, let alone rideshare. I attempted to drive for Uber for 24 hours straight. You heard that right. No leaving to get sleep at home, no spending time with my family and friends, no time wasted. So how was I able to even consider trying to pull this off? What issues did I face during this challenge? Was I even able to complete this challenge without anyone's health and safety at play? And most importantly, how much did we make? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Kian. If you're brand new, pronounced Kian. And before we can even get into the rules of this challenge, which we'll get into later, I have to explain to you all how my market actually works for this challenge. So without further ado, this is Delaware.
Delaware.
Oh my God!
Now, if that's too hard to pinpoint for you, just think of Philadelphia, which would be like up here somewhere, and go 45 minutes southwest of it. That is where my city of Wilmington, Delaware is. Hey, fun fact about Delaware. Delaware is the first state officially in the United States, and also one of the few states with no state income tax. Another fun fact about Delaware, actually, that's about it. But where I work, Wilmington is a pretty medium-sized city that's quite popular for the fact that a ton of businesses are HQ'd and incorporated in Wilmington, you know, to avoid paying as much in taxes as possible. You may have also heard of Delaware in the news because of Elon Musk's $55 billion bonus package from Tesla being denied by a Delaware judge, which, to be honest, is really funny. Okay, so all that aside, Central City Wilmington has been my primary place of work since the beginning of 2024. However, as I've now learned, Wilmington is painfully slow this time of year during the summer, and trying to consistently make even like $500 a week in Wilmington has become more and more of a chore these past few months. So I decided I wanted to shake things up. And another Uber content creator who surprisingly lives in and works in the same city that I do, so shout out to Truck Driver, I'll put his channel up here, recommended that I try driving out to the Delaware beaches for the summer weekends down here to truly see just how good a well-paying area can be for you. So for the last few weekends, I experimented with this region to try and mix things up. And I was shocked at how much better the pay was. For example, this right here is currently the lowest paying ride I have taken in the Delaware beaches. And in comparison, this is the lowest paying ride that I've taken in Wilmington. See the difference? I'll go more into detail about why the pay is so much better later, but I know you guys want to see the challenge start, so before we do that, let's talk about the rules. Okay, so the first rule is that I actually have to drive for rideshare and Uber specifically for 24 total hours. And I have a stopwatch on my phone that'll be tracking my progress in real time. So anytime I'm not actively waiting for a ride or online with Uber does not count towards the 24-hour period. Rule number 2, I am allowed to take breaks throughout the challenge, and honestly as many as I'll need necessary. But, as previously stated, the time on these breaks do not count whatsoever. And this is more of a clarification than a rule, but I am allowed to accept and decline any Uber rides I like. This isn't a taking every Uber ride for 24 hours straight challenge, because that may make me go insane. Plus, I already did a video in similar fashion, I'll link it up here. So let's talk about goals for this challenge, and at the time, at the very least, I set a baseline goal, the absolute minimum goal that I would accept to call this challenge a success, of $400 gross. But my primary goal, the goal I actually wanted to hit, was to net $500. And the difference between gross and net, just in case you're not familiar in this scenario, would be that the gross total is anything I make off of Uber or just any form of rideshare, anything like that, counts towards the total goal. But the primary goal with netting $500 means that by the end of the challenge, after all expenses have been considered and covered for, I would have to have $500 left over as my profit. Oh, and before I could officially start this challenge, there are two things I want to note. One is that I actually got a ride on the way down to the beaches, and the only reason I don't have the footage for this is one, I don't know where the footage went, and two, the rider canceled like directly after, like literally within seconds. So their problem, not mine. And the second thing, before I officially started this challenge, literally on the way to the Delaware beaches, all the way south, I witnessed a car crash happen literally 2 lanes away from me.
Same time, I don't know. Oh my God. Did that guy just crashed his car? I just caught that on camera. That guy just crashed his car. Like, that guy literally just bumped into one of the other cars on the road and hit him.
So, I'll let you decide if that is something that has some deja vu coming into this challenge.
So once this hits 12:30, I'm going to go online. We're at 152 miles right now, and this will be probably the most difficult Uber-related thing I've ever done. Or maybe it won't be. I genuinely have no idea. I'm kind of terrified. Oh, here we are, 12:30. So, ladies and gentlemen, the challenge begins in 3, 2, 1. We're online. There we go, clock started. And now, it's time to wait for rides.
So there's a few things you need to know about this market in comparison to my primary Wilmington/Philly market. I do not get upfront fares in this market. That means I do not see the amount Uber is offering me per ride. This may sound like a bad thing, but markets that don't have upfront fares usually pay way better than markets that do, like my primary market of Wilmington. I also don't get to see almost all of the details of the ride itself. The only things that Uber tells me about the ride offer is the passenger's rating, how far away the pickup spot is, the type of ride it is, and if there's any surge to it. I think this is very dangerous and stupid, but the good news is that there is a way to see how long the drop-off portion of the ride will be. The bad news is that you have to be an Uber Pro driver to even access it, and I had just fallen out of Platinum. Oops. So you may be asking why I'm willing to drive almost 2 hours down to the beaches for this market then. And that is where the sweetest part of this market really comes into play. Every single Uber ride offered to drivers in this market during the summer has a $5 seasonal surcharge, as they call it, added to the final price. This is where the money really comes in. If you are able to do enough rides, you can make some serious cash in a very quick time period.
Alrighty, y'all, quick update. It is just shy of 1 p.m. No ride offers yet, but I was able to do a couple of things. I was able to get some air in my tires. I was able to refill my drink. There was something else I was able to do. Oh, I was able to get a very much needed bathroom break. But whilst I haven't gotten any rides, I have gotten a reservation. It doesn't start until 1:45, but it's actually pretty far away. So I know this seems like a bad idea, but I also remember my first time being in this market being very, very slow around this time of day. So I'm actually going to take this reservation and I'm going to do the kind of slow drive. And the reservation itself is $46.77, 32 minutes, 15.9 miles. I think for the metrics, it's pretty good. And it's not like an hour-long ride, it's only a 32-minute long ride. And it keeps me in and around the area I kind of want to be in. So Uber just completely bullshit me out of a reservation. I have no idea what happened. I just got a notification saying that my 1:45 reservation was canceled because my current vehicle and status don't meet the requirements for this trip. It's an UberX ride in my own market. I was online in time, and they just canceled it just because. And even better, you're never gonna guess, yup, they didn't pay me for it. Well, this is a lovely start to this fucking 24-hour challenge. And in a very odd twist of events, I just got the reservation back. Well, they didn't add it back, excuse me. They gave it to me as an instant offer. So I have no idea what's going on, but at the end of the day, I'm here. I'm gonna go do this reservation real quick. BRB. Alrighty, everybody, we are 1 hour in officially, actually about an hour and 1 minute in officially, and we still haven't technically made any money yet. That's because we're actually on our way to this reservation I just previously mentioned. But yeah, like I said, this reservation took up a bit of reserved time in my first hour. So, I apologize for being here so early.
I've ridden in a Tesla yet.
Oh, you haven't ridden a Tesla?
So this will be a good experience.
Oh yeah, we'll have lots of fun.
And I'm like, Meg, this is too quick. So something isn't right.
Right.
So
No problem. You guys have a lovely night. First reservation in Rehoboth done.
The challenge started in a way that I wasn't expecting it would start with, well, a reservation. And then another reservation. Okay, I know it doesn't sound like I have a lot to add about the first part of this challenge, but that's because for the first 4 hours of this challenge, I only got 3 rides, and all 3 of them were reservations. Now, whilst I'm not entirely complaining about that, because the reservations paid super well considering the fact, the pace of the day was much slower to start with than I had hoped it would be. Whether this be lack of demand from riders, an oversupply of drivers, having some issues with positioning, or something else, I don't know.
So one factor I didn't take into account is that it is so fucking hot. I get that I'm in an all black car, which doesn't help my case, but like, I am legitimately so fucking sweaty. This is like the hottest day I've had in this car. Alrighty, y'all, we are 6 hours into this challenge, and we finally have gotten an actual instant offer from Uber. 6 hours in. I know that sounds insane. Obviously, we had the 3 reservations to tend to, because like I'd be taking the Uber rides if I was getting them.
So after 6 hours of driving for Uber and starting this challenge and being at $130.56 at this point, I was already starting up on my first official break for the challenge, which to me was screaming some alarm bells because I had only gotten 1 Uber instant offer in that entire time, and I feared the rest of the night may match this pace. So after my late night dinner, aka my late night Domino's binge, and a little bit of cleanup to follow, it was time to really get things into motion. I took my second instant offer Uber ride of the night, and afterwards, I got a text from a previous Uber passenger. You see, I have these little business cards, I'll show one on screen, that are available to passengers if they would like to drive with me again. I don't offer them out personally, just for, well, security purposes, but the first Uber reservation and first official ride of the challenge needed a ride back from their trip to the Delaware beaches, or sorry, more specifically, the Delaware Beaches Ferry, so they asked if I would take them for the ride back. Now, I know what a lot of you are already commenting.
But Kian, this is an Uber challenge. If you do this ride, it's not an Uber challenge anymore.
And to that, I have a few things to say. One, this is still an Uber challenge. Relax. But I didn't specify that it had to be exclusively with Uber, primarily because I know people like quality service, and I don't want to miss out on good paying opportunities because I wanted to restrict myself for a YouTube challenge. And number 2, you can go suck my dick.
They paid me $60 for it, which by Uber's fare, I only got paid like $46. So I already made more there, and they were very polite. They asked how they could tip me. I said, you guys have already paid for the ride. You already paid more than what Uber would have paid me for it. Don't even worry about a tip. Plus, I had already taken them previously that day. Well, 2 minutes after I recorded that last segment, we got another ride offer. Admittedly, this is 10 minutes away, but still, this, I'm sure, actually brings me closer to where I want to be. So, kind of just depends on where I'm taking these people. So, let's get it done.
At this point in the challenge, a lot of my time was actually spent commuting to and from rides. This is a big expense in the world of Uber, not only just on your gas and mileage, but also on your time. I got lucky on getting great paying reservations for most of the start of this challenge. I do wish though that I had gotten more short rides in comparison to the longer rides, but I guess I can't complain too much.
I got another offer. However, this one is 16 minutes away, but It says pickup premium likely. Now, I have never accepted a trip, at least to the best of my knowledge, accepted a trip that has had a pickup premium likely on it. But I'm curious. I'm curious as to see if this is actually going to be worth it at all to me.
Yeah, that pickup premium was bullshit.
You guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Those guys were lovely. Alrighty, that ride is done. $24.25. Holy hell, what the hell? Okay, I just jumped a big number. What just happened? Oh my god! Oh, okay. I looked away for 1 second as that pulled up. I just got a $40 tip from that last ride. Okay. Holy hell.
I was really starting to hit my stride, and despite the fact that the challenge had started less than 12 hours ago at this point, I had already grossed $300, and it wasn't even the busiest part of the night just yet.
So I just had my first ride decline of the night. It was this ride here, 22 minutes away, but it had the, pickup premium likely. But as we learned from one of our previous rides, that pickup premium seems to be garbage. So we're not going to trust that. And if the ride is like 20 minutes away or more and it's not going a direction I want it to go, or it's like not in the market I want it to be in, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm trying to see if I can squeeze in between these two.
Yeah, you can. Come on, floor it.
Yeah, right next to the police car too. Yeah.
Don't listen.
Live life on the dangerous road.
Don't listen.
Hey guys, just want to take a quick break here to remind you all that if you guys are aspiring Uber drivers or you're enjoying the video and you want to sign up for Uber, I actually have an affiliate link where you guys can sign up down below. It helps me out and you'll get a bonus after your first chunk of rides being an Uber driver, depending on which area and market you're in. So you'll get bonuses for driving for Uber in your market. I'll get bonuses because I'm an affiliate link, so I'll earn something from your signups and your progress towards your bonuses, so everybody wins. So if you want to see if you can make just as much money as I've been making throughout this challenge, go sign up for Uber down below. There's an affiliate link in the description. But with that aside, back to the video.
The rides were becoming non-stop at this point, and I was having a blast taking and driving with the people down at the beaches. The pay was better, the passengers were on vacation, so they were all in a happy mood, and for some of the passengers at that time of the night, a different type of happy mood. The tips are coming in like everyone had just won the lottery. It had never felt so fun being an Uber driver like it was this night.
Alrighty, y'all, it is 1 o'clock. We are 11 hours in. Probably got about another hour to go before the demand probably starts to die down, but who knows. I just got another comfort ride as I was finishing my current ride. It's the first comfort ride I've gotten throughout this entire challenge. It's the first comfort ride I've gotten in quite a bit. I'm very excited for it. It is a good 8-minute drive away, but that's perfectly fine. So yeah, let's go get this done. Alrighty, everybody, it is 2:12 a.m. right now. We are at the same amount. Literally, as I start recording, I got an offer. Perfect, because they're at Wawa, and guess who's also at Wawa? Literally me. I was just about to be like, hey, I'm calling it a night. I wasn't charged up, but here we are. Okay, we are officially over $400. It is 2:19 a.m. and I think that is where we are going to call it for the night.
All right, so all things considered, as the night closed and the demand died down, I went into 2 a.m. of this challenge with $410.51, meaning my minimum goal had already been accomplished. And I still had another 12 hours to go. Now, I know what a lot of you have probably been asking since the start of this challenge. Kian, how are you going to drive for 24 hours straight when Uber only allows you to be online physically driving for 12-hour intervals before they kick you offline for 6 hours? What are you even gonna do for those 6 hours? Sleep in your car? Yes. Yes, I am.
Alrighty, let's get set up. This would be a really bad time to figure out my air mattress doesn't work. So let's hope that doesn't happen, because I have yet to fully test this out. I know, irresponsible, I'm stupid, but we gotta live life on the edge and whatnot. The entire instruction booklet is in Chinese. Good news is that this works. All right, I think I got this. Alrighty, well, it's inflated. And it's not crashing, so that's good. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. That was surprisingly harder than I expected it to be, just because of how physically tasking it was. It didn't take that long just to fill it up. Took about as long as I expected it to. And there's another section all the way at the bottom that I didn't even fill up. One, because I didn't feel like filling it up, and also there was no way for me to be able to reach all the way down there. There's not a 12 volt on that side. I don't have a cool enough Tesla for the 12 volt there. Okay, so updates and revelations. The piece for the front glass for my windshield doesn't fit. It won't fit because of the mount that I have for my camera right now, so I'm not going to remove that mount because it's way too much of a fucking hassle. Dude, they didn't give me like any instructions for this. Like, they gave me instructions that for things that won't work. Ignoring the absolute mess that was trying to get these panels set up, and just how long this took, because it is currently 4 a.m. I think we're done. I am going to actually attempt to sleep now. I'm going to put the final panels on, don't worry. And I just realized that my panel fell off. Great. Here's the blackout curtains. As you can see, there's the one that's missing. I legit am tempted to just find a blanket and put it up there. Here's the other blackout curtains. You can't see them because they're black, which means it's working. And here's this one. It's flimsy ass one. Unfortunately, it's literally almost sunrise, so I need to get to sleep like ASAP, or I am just not going to get sleep at all. So, nighty night.
12 seconds later.
Good morning, everybody. It is, I think, around 8:30-ish right now. I checked when I'm recording with my phone. I actually slept pretty okay. Despite the fact I got like 4 hours of sleep, 4.5 hours. Probably look like a fucking mess right now.
Car setup. All things considered, not too bad. I think the thing that was throwing me off the most is just the fact that I'm in my car. It was just a little disturbing, because I was just worried, you know, like, what if somebody comes up to the car? You know, what if like a tow truck comes and takes my car whilst I'm still in it, or something like that. But like, you could actually see me. So, you know, if people were like, what's this guy doing? They could very quickly piece together, oh, he's camping out in his car. But yeah, I'm gonna get everything taken back apart. And once I have enough energy, or once our clock actually resets, excuse me, I still have to wait for the 6-hour period to 6-hour offline period to reset. So once that resets, we'll go back online and we'll get back to work.
It really does not show in the video, but the thought of sleeping in my car and my car getting towed or someone seeing me was just absolutely terrifying. I genuinely thought it was going to keep me up all night, so the fact that it didn't and I was actually able to get some sleep was kind of a miracle, all things considered. After putting everything away and getting a quick car wash, I was back online.
Alrighty, y'all, we are about to go back online in 1 minute here. Actually, excuse me, we're about to go back online right now. I just wanted to make sure my car wash was actually properly done. We are online. Once again, you hear that click? That means we're online. It's 9:30 a.m., 196 miles on the car. Time to get back to work. And like clockwork, our first ride has already been offered to us. Let's get moving, guys.
Sorry about the ones, but I am a bartender.
No, you're perfectly good. Hey, I'll take anything. You know what? If you threw it to me in Bitcoin, I'd be happy enough. So that is a $9 cash tip for the first ride of the day. So other than the first ride, my plan for today, my strategy for today is to knock out a bunch of rides going to Bethany Beach and just kind of bounce back and forth between Bethany and Dewey. We have got 11 hours and 10 minutes just about. We are already at basically $20 for our day because of the $9 cash tip. So the morning's already off to a really solid start.
I took my first ride surprisingly early after I went online and got a $9 cash tip from my first passenger. which signaled that the end of this challenge could just be as lucrative as how this challenge started. But that thought was immediately crushed by the ride I was offered after it.
All right, Papa, where are the strippers at?
Oh my God.
I'm thinking my uncle. I don't think that there's no strip bar around here, right?
So it's gonna be the second. No, I'm kidding.
That's a good one, Papa. Oh my goodness.
Whilst the ride paid okay for the time and miles spent driving it, the drive down to Bethany Beach, aka the area I actually intended to spend the majority of my day in for the rides, was now over an hour away from where I had just dropped that last passenger off. And speaking of things over an hour away, my next ride offer let me know that the ride was going to be at least 45 minutes long or longer. I had not gotten a single ride offer with this 45+ minute notification attached to it, and I thought this could make some great money depending on the area, so I took a gamble on accepting it. Now, as a quick reminder, Uber does not tell me the drop-off location or even how far away the drop-off location is to me, because I was no longer an Uber Gold or Platinum driver. And even if I was, I still wouldn't know where this ride was going. And I didn't feel like completely letting fate decide how the rest of my day was going to go, so when I got to the pickup location, I just straight up asked the passenger where this ride was going to. And oh boy, am I glad I did that.
Just so I make sure we have enough miles for this. Can you confirm the ending location for me?
Yeah, it's in DC.
Oh, DC.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. That is the first ever ride I think I have ever had to cancel because it was literally going too far away. But I am glad I asked before I clicked start ride, because not only would I literally not have had enough miles to do that ride, it would have just completely took a 180 on my day. I'm sure it would have paid very well, and I'm sure the passenger, she seemed very, very nice. I'm sure she would have left the tip, but like, I can't risk flipping my day for a ride like that. So
I guess the Uber gods weren't too happy with me canceling that ride, because I had to wait a full hour until I had even gotten my next offer from Uber.
alrighty, after what was probably like over an hour of just sitting and waiting, we finally got another ride, and we got a comfort ride, which may also have a pickup premium. Oh, thank you, Bruce. Because it says pickup premium likely. I'm not banking on that part too much. I'm honestly just happy I have a ride. Yes, it is 19 minutes away, but honestly, it's been so slow. I'll take it at this point. So, let's get moving.
Now, despite the fact that it took so long for me to get my next ride, that ride immediately went with some amazing news, because at 2:12 p.m., with a little more than 7 hours left in the challenge, I had officially grossed $500 total. And the good news didn't even stop there.
The last passenger that I just took also requested a personal ride from me. Like, had already requested and set it up before he had even left the car, and said he was going to pay me $100 cash just to take him down back from Ocean City, Maryland, and back to where I picked them up from originally, which was about a 40 minute ride. So whilst admittedly it will be quite a bit of a ride to go, as I'm going back up to go get my car charged, and then a good amount of a ride to go back down to go pick him up, I've already won. I hit the goal. Like, after this, like, currently, if my numbers are right, I'm at $518.07 gross. That's including like everything, cash tips, all that stuff. So after this next, that's $618, and that's assuming that for the next 2 hours we don't get another, like, a single other ride. So I have a destination filter going back up. Assuming I get nothing on the way back, I'm going to take a very well-deserved, like, 30-45 minute break, and then once 3 p.m. hits, I'm gonna let, assuming nothing else pops up, I'm gonna let this guy know that I'm gonna come pick him back up and start driving back down. I'll throw another destination filter back on the way down to see if I grab anything from, like, Bethany or something.
So I took another ride in between the last ride I had and me taking a well-deserved break to go eat and charge up my car before my massive reservation, and actually got another Uber ride just on the way down to the reservation. And despite the fact that I was a little late, the cash reservation went off without a hitch. The day was interrupted with a brand new problem.
As you can probably hear and probably see, it's raining, which I was so hoping we would be able to avoid the rain, but...
But if you thought rain was going to stop me at this point, you clearly hadn't been paying attention to this challenge.
Damn, that was quick. We just got another ride offer. 7 minutes away, admittedly, but I really expected that to take a while because of the weather. But something tells me that I might actually get a little more demand because the weather kind of fell on its face a little bit.
And I wasn't really thinking about going to Secrets and getting down. But then I was like, it's
we're getting down. I have a joint in my purse. I almost brought edibles. Almost.
I am not taking those.
Well, that's good, but I brought a joint. And I have all of the Xanax. I have some other stuff. I'll find some other stuff. Do you have anything?
No, I do not.
I wasn't asking you. Your mom was 7, like to him.
I wish I had something a little more exciting. Most I've got is some gum.
Even like some ice cream sandwiches, nothing.
I know, it's so lame. I got nothing here. But to be fair, the ice cream sandwiches would melt in like 10 seconds.
What?
The ice cream sandwiches, those would melt in like 10 seconds.
Oh God!
Did you have a freezer or fridge or something in the console?
Are you serious? You don't have a freezer in here? That's ridiculous.
I know.
That's absurd.
I don't even know why I do this anymore. It's just I'm so uninvested.
Uber in an ice cream truck.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be? You know, Uber had an ice cream truck service when they first came out. I have a picture of it. They came to Foot Hill. Where to go? I don't care. Yeah, let's go to Secrets. Papa Yui. Let's do it.
Papa Yui?
Papa Yui.
Let's do it.
Pop the pussy too.
Oh my God.
I feel like I'm looking for
I'm sorry.
something.
No, you're good.
My friends are crazy.
Oh, please.
It's very tame.
I drove in Philly for a living. I know crazy. This is fun. This is fun for me.
Do you never seen this? Do you want to come with us?
Oh my goodness, that would be so much fun.
Do you want to
Unfortunately,
come? Just leave your car here. We'll report it stolen.
I unfortunately can't.
We'll report it stolen?
Wait, I think you missed a layer.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Just honestly.
Oh my God, no. I need it for my hair. There's no way it's going to get messed up. You think I'm crazy if I get out like this?
No.
Yeah.
I think you have your priorities in the right place.
Yeah.
See ya. I think that's definitely the best ride of the night so far. Hey guys, Kian from the future here. I have to interrupt real quick to remind you all that being an Uber driver takes a lot. It's not just as simple as just driving people around and making money. You have to make sure you keep a clean car, you have to make sure you keep a clean person, and you also have to make sure that you keep your passengers entertained. So you want to find things and ways to make sure that you can entertain them. And it's not always as easy as just having a high quality conversation because you don't know what they want to talk about. And sometimes they don't want to talk with you at all. It's, you know, they may want to just talk with their friends or their partners or something in the back of the car. But what I found a lot of people enjoy doing is using their phones or using their tablets to play games, which is why I'm super excited to announce that I have an affiliate link with the Octopus tablet. If you guys don't know what this is, Octopus sends out qualified drivers free tablets that they can put in the back of their car in order to entertain their drivers as they're going through rides. It has a bunch of different functions like its own personal driver menu page, a weather section that can be dependent on your market and your area to let people know what the upcoming weather is going to be like, a map of where you currently are as the ride is going on, and a ton of different selection of options of trivia games and matching puzzle games for either yourself, your kids, your partners, or just anybody else that's in the car in the back seat. And the best part of it all, you can actually make money using an Octopus tablet in the back of your car. For every 250 rides you do, you will get 1 point for each ride, and you will be able to redeem $25 for each 250 rides. So if you're doing around 250 rides a month, you're just getting an extra $25 for free, and you're entertaining your passengers in the process. And it's such a simple and easy way to make sure that your passengers have something to do if they're not much of the talking type, or they're a little bit shy, or just not interested in having a conversation right now. So if you guys want to pick this up, or if you want to sign up to see if you're eligible, you can use the affiliate link down below. It helps me out, it helps the rideshare guy out, and I'm sure it's going to help you out as well in the long run. I've had this for over a year now, and I absolutely love it. So guys, don't wait on this. Go sign up with the affiliate link down below. It helps me out, it helps the rideshare guy out, and I'm sure it's going to help you out as well if you're approved, because there is more than just 8 things to love about the Octopus tablet.
After having respectfully turned down my previous passenger's delightful request to smoke some dope and party, the time was quickly passing by. And by the time I had gotten my next ride after the previous one, I only had 3 hours left in the challenge.
All right, so I had to drive all the way through Ocean City, back up again, but the traffic was so much worse the second time around. Not to mention, speaking of traffic, I've got my next ride. I'm literally 1 minute away, but I am behind a bus going less than 10 miles per hour in a one-way lane that I cannot overtake because there's no space for me to, and also I'm pretty sure it's illegal. Okay guys, it's 7:35. We are 22 hours in, 2 more hours, and we will have completed the 24-hour challenge. Now, I need to charge the car. I'm at 71 miles, so like I'm really pushing my luck. However, I am going to stay online at least whilst I work up here to charge, because I have a feeling it's going to be very slow for quite some time. If I get like, you know, another 30 or 40 miles or something, and then I get an offer, I want to make sure I'm still taking offers for the next couple of hours. I know we've hit the goal, but it's not just about hitting the goal. It's about making as much money as we possibly can. So I'm trying to be, you know, economically minded. And like, if I see like a 45+ minute ride, this will be the one instance where I'll be like, you know what? Maybe not right now. I was literally just about to pull in to the parking lot for Wawa to go charge my car. As I'm pulling in, about ready to go charge, I get another offer. That's what I get for not turning the app off. I'm really hoping this doesn't go too far. I think it would tell me, like, I think I would have known it would have been like 45+ minute ride, because traffic it's gonna be kind of sketchy right now, so I hope we're okay. Okay guys, 22 hours and 38 minutes in. We are currently still online. We're still online. I'm charging at the same time as waiting for rides, because I can see that it is slowed down quite a bit up here, so I just assumed, you know, this is probably gonna be one of the slower hours of the challenge, if not one of the slowest hours of the challenge, just because a lot of people have kind of been parked where they need to go. So I'm just charging up. I'm probably gonna grab something else. I know I have a couple fries here. I might grab something on top of that to eat, but I also may just hold out until the challenge is officially over and grab something heavy and celebrate with that on the way back down home.
So after the 2 rides I had just finished, I went to go charge my car for the final time in this challenge, because we had hit the home stretch. And as I took my next ride, I realized that there was only 1 hour left until the challenge was complete.
1 hour away from this challenge being completed. We are 23 hours in, and like clockwork, we have gotten our next ride literally right around the corner here, so let's get the final hour going. You guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe.
Thanks.
Easy as you like it. Literally a 3-minute ride. 3-minute ride, $9.18. That's a great way to start your final hour. Thanks so much.
Have a good night, bud.
You as well. Stay safe. Okay, I just finished a very long ride, guys, but it was completely worth it. $33.89 for that ride. It did take me slightly into Ocean City, but not super far, so it won't be too hard to get back into the proper state. And we have 20 minutes left, 21 minutes left for this challenge. So I think we've got 1 good ride in, and then we're done. We're good. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited, and also, like, honestly, I'm a little sad. Like, this has been a lot of fun, and if it wasn't, like, if I wasn't worried about the rain, then I would honestly probably just keep going, but the rain is going to be a bit of a concern, so I want to make sure I get home safe, and I know that hopefully the next few hours will be a little bit clearer for me to drive back, so I'm not going to push my luck, and let's see if we can get 1 more ride for the night. Looks like my wish came true. We got another ride. We're 5 minutes away. I have no idea where we're going, and I'm almost afraid to find out. So let's get what's likely going to be the last ride of the night done, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes left.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, after a surprisingly fun and enjoyable day and a half of driving and working in the Delaware beaches, with over 24 rides to boot, the Uber 24-hour challenge was official.
And just when I thought I could finish the night without another ride, we got one more. I did want to film the moment that we actually hit 24 hours. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 24 hours. We did it.
Okay, now the challenge is complete.
We did it. 24 hours, 9:33 p.m. So we got one more ride. Let's knock it out of the park.
Thank you so much for the ride.
No problem. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Cheers. Everything's clear. The 24-hour challenge is officially complete. I'm gonna swipe this to complete UberX. Last ride was $14.82. So I don't know about you guys, but I've got another 2-hour drive to head back home. So I am going to get driving home. And in the meantime, future Kian in the studio, let's break down the numbers.
So I've already addressed some of the goals that we've hit during this challenge, but now I am going to give you all of the numbers so that you know how much I really made from this 24-hour challenge. So let's start with the gross total. Over the course of 24 online and worked hours driving for both Uber and doing some personal rides and reservations, and over the 33 total hours for this challenge, from all forms of income, including cash tips and personal reservations, I made a gross total of $823.41.
I absolutely popped off. I did so much better than I expected I was going to do. I think I set my baseline goal as like $400 gross, and we literally doubled that. Holy hell.
I hear you saying, yeah, you're right, commenter. You can delete that comment you were about to put in the comments section with the other 55 people that didn't get this far into the video and just wanted to find a way to complain, because I'm breaking that down too. So in terms of expenses, I surprisingly only spent $15.97 on food costs for the duration of this challenge. Now, I did pick up something to eat whilst on the way home, and I did have something to eat on the way down to the beaches before I started the challenge. But those expenses were of my own that weren't included in the challenge time, so I'm not including them in the challenge expenses. The largest cost was the $58.80 in the total charging costs throughout the 5 charging sessions throughout this challenge. That might sound like a lot considering the fact I have an electric car, and yeah, it kind of is, but I know some people are ready to tell me that's literally half a tank of gas for them, so I'm not going to complain. So if you take both of those expenses plus the $4.36 that Uber took for the optional insurance costs that I opt into, that adds up to $79.13 of total expenses, making my total net profit of all forms of income $744.28. And I'll pop everything up on the screen here, and there'll also be a link in the description below to everything that breaks down all of these numbers. But to break down some extra ones here, $129 of the money I made was in cash, $29 from cash tips, and that $100 from the personal reservation. From the 2 personal reservations I did, I made a total of $158.34. The total amount I made in tips, both cash tips and tips from the Uber app, adds up to $137.86. And because I know somebody will bring this up too, if you don't want to count the money I made from the personal reservations and just want to count the money I made from the Uber app and the cash tips exclusively, my gross total would come out to $631.07, and my net total would come out to $551.94. So even without the personal reservations at all involved, I still hit my goal of netting over $500. So to anyone who is about to use that as a talking point against me, get fucked. In terms of the miles I tracked throughout this challenge, I drove a total of 438 business miles throughout this challenge, meaning my gross total dollars to mile ratio comes out to about $1.88 per mile, and my net total comes out to about $1.70 per mile, both of which being super respectable numbers considering the length of this challenge. In terms of dollars to time ratio, how much I made per hour of work, that actually came out to a whopping $34.30 per hour, and even if you want to just count the net dollars to time ratio, that was still at just over $31 an hour, which is insane to pull off over a 24-hour period, whichever way you look at it. I took 26 Uber rides overall throughout the challenge, and if you don't include the 2 personal reservations, the average price per Uber ride comes out to $24.27. But if you do include the gross total of all forms of income with those 2 personal reservations, the average price per ride comes out to $29.40, which just goes to show the power of a high-paying market with actual high-quality bonuses. So what did I learn from driving for Uber for 24 hours straight and over 33 hours total? Honestly, I learned the value of really spending every minute optimizing your time as an independent contractor with any side hustle that you're going to end up doing. I know we all want to blame the gig apps for paying us to do so little at times, which, by the way, is incredibly valid, and I have had my fair share of complaints in that area too. But at the end of the day, the only person that can control how much you make and how much you enjoy making it is you. I also learned that just because I made a lot of money from this challenge, over double what I was hoping to gross, all things considered, that doesn't mean it didn't come without an actual cost. And I'm not talking about like the expenses, we already covered that part. I mean the physical price that I had to pay for this challenge. I grinded this challenge out in a way that was incredibly unhealthy. I was living off of junk food, pizza, and energy drinks, was running on the second part of this challenge with, I'm not kidding, 4 hours of sleep, if even that much sleep at all. And you can visibly see how unkempt my hair, face, and body was throughout this challenge. I did not take any time to keep up with my personal hygiene, other than some Dove body spray for my armpits and brushing my teeth. I didn't shower, I didn't wash my face, and it took me a good hour before I had even realized I left some zip patches on overnight, which I know, gross. But it just goes to show that slaving away for a challenge like this or for any gig app like this in the way I did, or just doing it because you feel the incentivification to, is an incredibly toxic way of going about doing these gig apps. I really meant it when I said I was going to document the whole process, and other than the breaks I took throughout the day, the largest span of time throughout the challenge that I wasn't driving for Uber and wasn't asleep was when I was putting everything away in the morning and getting my car washed. I went from driving for Uber at 2 a.m. to charging my car, spending 45 minutes setting up my bed in the car, sleeping, getting up and putting everything away, getting my car washed, and going back to work immediately after. I gave myself no rest time other than the literal rest I had, because I knew that I had a challenge to do and there was money to be made. So for everything I previously listed, obviously I 100% do not recommend anyone try doing this in the fashion that I did. Because above all else, money can't buy the quality of life that I drained away during this. And the following few days, I was completely thrown off from this challenge, and honestly, I was kind of a mess. I enjoyed doing this challenge so much more than I expected to, don't get me wrong, but please don't do this. I can't even say don't try this at home, because obviously you wouldn't be trying it from your home, you'd be trying it from a car. Just don't do this. Don't do this, please. Another thing that I learned overall was just because you think you know your market doesn't mean you know all of it. I had never even considered going down to the beach areas during the summer until another YouTuber had brought up the idea to me. And once I explored this suggestion, I was introduced to a completely different way of driving for Uber that I had never even considered. And I honestly love it. Like, I'm actually going to be driving down the 1.5 to 2 hours every day and night that I work to go down to the beach shore to drive for Uber instead of driving in my crusty ass market of Wilmington, Delaware. So if you feel like you're stuck in the same loop where your market is, consider exploring the markets around you. You might be surprised at the other options you have close by that you would have just never considered before because it was a slightly further way drive out. I used to work in the Philadelphia market for Uber exclusively in Philly, and I truly hated how bad the traffic was there and also just how upsettingly sad the scene in Philadelphia was at the time, and even now still to an extent. So spread your wings a little more. You might just be surprised. And with all that said, guys, that's the end of the video. The challenge was a success, and whilst it took a lot out of me physically, I learned so much throughout this challenge, and it was a valuable lesson in the trade-offs of physical health and monetary gain. But what did you guys think of the challenge? Would you want to see me try this again, but next time taking every single ride? I genuinely don't want to offer this, and I feel bad even putting this in my script. God damn it, Kian. But for now, here's 1 a.m. Kian just after he got home from the challenge to give you all the outro of your dreams.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see another video where I do another sort of challenge to figure out if it's worth it, go check out my last video where I found out whether or not being an Uber Pro driver was actually worth the time and effort. And of course, thank you all so much for the support. It's always appreciated. And stay cool. We did it.